Welcome everyone to the Sunday Rune and Card readings. Thank you so much for joining me. And before I dive into the additional guidance from these three beautiful angels, we're really drawing on the energy of angels today using lots of angel cards. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to those of you who I know in the comments you were sending me healing. I had a problem with my arm. I'd pulled some muscles and had tendonitis. It was really uncomfortable and I've been wearing a bandage for several weeks. My arm is really pretty much fully healed. Thank you for your love, your light, the healing, the prayers that you were sending my way. I'm absolutely certain that the healing has been so fast. It's been incredible. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I was so humbled and so touched by your messages and your comments. So wonderful friends, thank you. We are an amazing community here on YouTube, and I would never have realised that such a strong connection with so many amazing people would be possible via something like this. So thank you so much. It's a privilege to be connected with all of you. So wonderful friends, before we continue and move into the additional guidance, for anyone that's new to us, to me, my readings, to this channel, I'm Jenny Florence, and this is the AZ of Emotional Health YouTube channel. I am very much about bringing emotional awareness into the world. I put up weekly readings. I give away a free private reading every month. I'm the creator of the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary and Journal. I'm going to be giving away copies of those from now until Christmas as well. And also I give away a copy of the Art of Manifestation Oracle Cards, a first signed limited edition pack every month. What I will do in the information box below, I will put the link to join our subscriber email list. It is a subscriber offer, so you do need to subscribe. Press the little bell icon as well if you want to get notification as soon as I upload anything. I'm going to be doing some live webinars. Probably we're looking at scheduling in October, I think, but some live webinars about working with the moon, manifesting with the moon, and how to use the diary and the journal if you wish, and also how to access all the information that's in there if you're not a journaler or a diaryer, you know. So we'll be doing some live webinars, which I hope will be really good fun, and also hopefully really informative as to how to work with the lunar energy in terms of consciously manifesting. So much happening and so much exciting stuff going on. So get yourself on that email list, and then you are also in our monthly prize draw forever ongoing, so that's pretty fantastic too. I'll also put the timings to the readings, so if you don't want to listen to the extra guidance, you don't have to. You can just fast forward to whichever reading you wish to tune into. For those of you, some people like to listen not only to the guidance but also to watch me draw the cards and the runes before deciding which reading, or sometimes readings, they're going to watch or listen to. So I will just put all of those links into the information box below, and also my free library. There's just a ton of stuff. I post on Facebook the lunar positionings every day, so loads and loads of links for you if you want to access extra information or just move to the readings. So enough said, let's tune in to these beautiful angels. So first of all, we have a honey calcite angel. Now honey calcite is actually a stone of leadership. It's said to raise our vibration, it enhances our ability. Very powerful energy, actually. Really helps to raise our vibration, helps us to overcome obstacles. If we've come through any kind of abusive or toxic situation, it kind of lifts our energy and helps us to sort of navigate through and beyond. It's very stabilizing as well in terms of consistency of action, I feel, which is very relevant actually. The phase of the moon that we're in at the moment, she's waning, and I mean the overall astro dynamics at the moment are really supporting what I would call consistent, steady progress, whilst being open to receive guidance in case we need to kind of course correct or make any tweaks to our kind of process of manifestation. So honey calcite reading number 1, a stone of leadership. Our second reading is going to be influenced, supported, governed by the energy of cherry quartz. Now, cherry quartz, this beautiful angel, is actually not only said again to increase our overall energy, but it's actually said to bring a shift in our fortune. And if we're stuck in something, if we feel stuck, or we're in a stagnant kind of place, or we've got a block, a bit like having writer's block, this little angel will just help to shift that energy. We literally move through something. It's the bettering of any situation. I always feel it aligns with the rune of movement. It kind of improves situations. It moves us out of a stagnant position, and it helps us to gather momentum. So lovely, lovely energy coming into reading number 2. Reading number 3, we have a snowflake obsidian angel. Now, obsidian is a warrior stone. It always brings protection. It's like a talisman. But it's very, very interesting because I always feel snowflake obsidian brings a particular flavour of sort of stillness and self-empowerment, really. It almost allows us to journey inwards, I feel. And so if we're trying to navigate anything internal that we're trying to sort out or address, or we're not certain of some sort of relationship between our internal world and our external world, snowflake obsidian, especially sitting it with you during meditation, very, very helpful in, I would say, almost like shamanic journeying, where we can journey inwards, we travel inwards, we ask for the support of our guides, our power animal, to walk alongside us, to show us the way. It's a deeply personal aspect of our journey. All 3 angels support very personal aspects of our manifestations, our own personal evolution, but this is very much a journey inwards. This is a getting unstuck, and this is a kind of a leadership and an ongoing motivation. So in a nutshell, that's really, I think, where we are with these readings. So I'm actually going to draw runes first today, unusually. So 2 for each reading. Okay, so we have our runes, and yes, I should have said before I started, of course, if you already know which reading or readings, just get yourself to the timestamps. They're in the comments as well. Let's now draw some cards. Now we're going to draw a lot of angel cards. We'll draw from, this is a Nordic tarot pack. We'll draw from this card, and I think we'll draw 3 for each. I think then, yeah, the Lightseers Tarot. Oh, wow. Now that actually flipped out, interestingly enough, but I'm going to put them back in because they flipped the other way up. So even though you may not have seen them, I have. And I really like to come into these readings completely fresh. So we'll draw from the Akashic Tarot as well. Ooh, very lively cards today. Right, the Art of Manifestation cards, we'll draw 1. And now we're going to move to the angel cards. We will use Archangel Michael cards. Goodness me, yes we will. And also a general angel pack. This is an angel oracle pack that has messages from many, many different archangels. course, these don't really have a reverse. And we'll draw 2. Okay. Right, I think that's where we are with our cards. So you may well already know which of the cards are speaking to you, which readings are speaking to you. If you're not sure yet, just press the pause button and just sit for a few moments until one of them really reaches out to you. Wonderful friends, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your love, your support, not only of me but of one another, and thank you for being a part of this amazing community. So much love to you, and I will see you in the readings. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1. Let's first of all look at our runes. So we have the rune of Gateway. Interesting that it's in reverse. And we also have the rune of Ice. This is interesting because the rune of Gateway, it always asks us to pause, to review, to reflect, to look closely at something before we proceed. Because it's in reverse, for me, alongside the rune of Ice, the ice sometimes, as a rune stands still, sometimes it suggests something is not moving forwards as it should, but sometimes it actually advises us to rest, to take time out, to pause, to evaluate before moving forwards. Now I'm going to place these runes up here next to this beautiful angel of leadership, Honey Calcite, and we'll have a look at our cards. So we have King of Wands, action. Generosity, now this is in reverse. The card of charity. And the Magician. Okay. Ooh, wow, look at this. This is powerful stuff, guys. So we have the Fool, new beginnings, and we also have the King of Wands. We start with the King of Wands, we finish with the King of Wands here. This is very fascinating. We have the Ark of the Covenant, internal dialogue, decide to be happy now, all is well, and compassion. I think everything is going to be in camera. I'm pretty certain that's going to work for us. Wow. Okay, so you're on track, actually. You are actually on track, but I think you're having to deal with something. I want to say you're having to deal with something external, but it may for some of you be something external that has already happened. So Honey Calcite, a stone of leadership, it raises our vibration. It helps us to walk the pathway of the spiritual warrior. It actually aligns with the energy of Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel in Hebrew, it means God is my strength. The Ark of the Covenant tells us that you're on track. It's in an upright position. You're on track. The actions that you're taking are absolutely in alignment with the future that you are meant to be creating. That's really clear to me. But this card of charity, generosity in reverse, and the be happy now, all is well, compassion, internal dialogue, I feel as though what you're actually processing in a very real way is something that has happened in the past. There was something really, I want to say, quite toxic. The energy of Honey Calcite, it helps us to overcome obstacles, but it also helps us to, so if you've got an obstacle in your life at the moment, it will help you to process that and come through. But it also helps us to overcome any situation where we've been in a toxic situation, we've needed to move through it. It helps us to recover effectively. It helps us to cleanse and regenerate. King of Wands, action. King of Wands here. I really feel so strongly the Fool, the Magician. I mean, wow is what I want to say. Wow, you are becoming, it's like you're becoming a master manifester. You're shifting your own personal energy. You're doing the internal work that creates the external shift in the world around you. But what I'm seeing is you're actually also processing something here. The rune of gateway, really interesting, it's in reverse. And the reason it's in reverse with standstill, and we may do a little bit of energy shifting, but in many ways I feel this is right. We're being shown this is absolutely right, that you process. Beautiful crow just landed right in my garden in front of me. Crows fly between the worlds. Crows, in shamanic understanding, a crow will journey between worlds. A crow can, you know, when we talk about, you know, the veil is thin, for example, a crow can travel kind of across, out of the realms of time as we know it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crow, literally looking right at me. Really fascinating, beautiful, beautiful energy. It's not, I have various crows that visit. This is not one. I have one with white feathers. Very interesting. 2 others have now just landed and arrived as well. So 3. 3 is quite a sacred number. Forgive me for digressing, but I often do. I always feel nature shows us signs. There's something you're processing. And I think it has come from the past now, but there's a residue of it that you're needing to put down. I think you're fully aware of it. It's really, but it's left you with something. I want to say really clearly, actually, it's got a very specific flavour to it. Okay, basically, I want to say that you gave to the wrong people. Okay, generosity, charity here is in reverse. We will do some energy shifting here in this reading. You basically, you have an open heart and you have welcomed people into your world. You've taken everyone on face value, which is a beautiful thing to do, but actually we need to develop discernment if we are going to navigate our lives from a healthy position. You've either been giving to the wrong people or you have given to the wrong people. That's why generosity is in reverse. You're needing to learn, I want to say actually, to look after yourselves, prioritize your own needs. But there's something quite karmic about this. The Ark of the Covenant, in its upright position, it's quite interesting actually. Sometimes in a very literal way, it can mean that like a legal issue or a negotiation or a contract will come to a successful completion in your favour. Okay, so if there's something going on in your world, again, it comes from a past situation where maybe you were involved in some kind of a toxic relationship, or there's been a toxic breakup, a difficult breakup, or a separation. You're going to come out on top here. This is the completion of something. Again, the internal dialogue card. We all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation. Is your dialogue kind, supportive and affirming, or is it critical and judgmental of either yourself or others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language. Words have a real impact, whether we're directing them outwards or they're just sitting within us. And our internal dialogue really can have a profound effect on our ability literally to be happy. Archangel Michael says, you know, decide to be happy now. The prayer, thank you for helping me open my heart to happiness, joy and bliss. I am now willing to see all of the goodness in my life. Archangel Jeremiah, everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to, with hidden blessings that you will soon understand. And Archangel Zadkiel, compassion. Soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. If you are winding yourself out of a situation, you're navigating through and beyond something, really check in on your dialogue and sort of trust. Give yourself time and space to reflect. The rune of ice is the standstill. I'm almost feeling as though you're being invited to stand still, to reflect. Give yourself time out. You don't have to push forwards. Everything here is telling me that you're actually on track. Everything is going to work out well. Whatever you are negotiating, you're going to come out on top. You have, I think, genuinely given to the wrong people. That's just keeps coming through. You've given to the wrong people. You were generous. I often speak about, you know, the whole drains and radiators. Some people are radiators, some people are drains. When two radiators get together, it's magnificent. When a drain attaches to a radiator, the radiator will in the end burn out, they'll run out. That's the flavour. You're needing to take charge. This is a stone of leadership. You do need to take action, okay? But take action in a way that is what's really coming through. Yes, mastery, the magician. Take action that is actually looking after, I want to say, look after your own interests here. Because when we give to the wrong people, interestingly enough, if we keep giving to the wrong people, in a strange way, we're kind of colluding with quite a negative energy. There's like a karmic, like a secondary karma. There's a repercussion if we support somebody who's behaving badly, or we just kind of let it go. It's like giving a child extra sweets at the checkout in the supermarket when we know we shouldn't. And it's easily done, you know. It's just, sometimes these things happen. You've given to the wrong people. It's time to move forwards. Look after your own interests. You are actually significantly on track. It's just that you're needing to navigate away from something and into a new space of being. New beginnings are absolutely ripe for you here. Renewed vitality, leadership, raising your vibration. But don't feel that if anything doesn't appear to be moving forwards quickly, just kind of trust that this is like steady, consistent progress. This is absolutely, this reading is completely in alignment with the overall kind of astrodynamics of the moon at the moment, the lunar energy. I mean, I post on Facebook every day, and I look at the chart for the day, you know, randomly. It's usually around the midday point here in the UK, but I look at where the moon is, I look at the overall dynamics. We are in a space of wonderful flow of energy that really, really supports transition and transformation and the restructuring of our lives. So if we're embracing that, the energy is really, really working with us. And as the moon is in her waning phase, she's diminishing. So she's reached the full moon where we had all sorts of illuminations shown to us. And now she's in the waning phase where her energy is winding down. Now that doesn't mean we stop in terms of manifestation, in terms of our conscious actions, but what it invites is what I would call slow and steady, consistent, persistent progression. Persevere, but steadily and in a gentle way. It's not a persevering where we're trying to surge forwards. We're persevering with gentle progression, and we're dealing with things one step at a time. Where whatever comes in, we tackle it there and then we move on to the next thing that we need to tackle. And actually, kind of progress is really assured. So action is needed. The charity card, it's really interesting in reverse. This is simply that as I said, you've given to the wrong people, or you've overgiven in some way. You need to prioritize your own interests. It comes through really clearly. This beautiful calendula flower keeps shining through, really similar color, aligning with the honey calcite, that lovely rich orange color, that vitality. Very cleansing. Calendula is such a cleanser. So the message here is really clear. Whether you are navigating genuinely some legality, you're coming out of something, or there's some contract, if you take time out, just in terms of your own manifestations, just to review and evaluate, don't feel as though you're getting it wrong. You're not. Taking time out and supporting yourself is as much a part of the process of growing and moving forwards as it is when we surge forwards. But there's something about this consistency. So the energy shifting, it comes with compassion, with forgiveness, the recognition. Do you know, we're all on our own pathway. It doesn't mean we tolerate something. We need to be discerning. We need to recognise that we're not going to give inappropriately, but we still can at the same time look back with compassion towards those who have perhaps, you know, not necessarily behaved well. It's not your responsibility to tackle the issues of others. Start to look after your own interests. Take time out when you need it. Replenish as you need it, and your world will move forwards. Everything is actually seriously on track here. So it feels really, really good. There's something very solid that you are building, whether that's just your internal growth or literally your external circumstances. I think inevitably the two go hand in hand. I think we know that. So what I'm going to do is shift this card. So sit with this for a moment. I'd like us to consider that, sit with the energy of this, listen to how you feel. Consider that taking some time to pause and evaluate is a powerfully positive thing. And I'm going to move the ice rune into a horizontal position. So it's not a stuck standstill, it's a flowing standstill, where we are relaxing, slowing down and evaluating. We're noticing things. Actions can be taken steadily. You are going to now choose to invest in yourself, okay? So we no longer give inappropriately to people. You're investing in the manifestations of new beginnings for yourself. It is time to prioritize the world you wish to build, to get clear about that, and to begin to build a picture of, I want to say, exactly the shape you wish your world to be in. You know, allow yourself to dream and to think, to dwell in a space of possibility, whilst also processing any internal dialogue, any inner criticisms, any negativity. Decide to be happy now. Focus on everything that you have, even if there is some, for some of you, there's been some loss within this negotiation. And focus on that. Have compassion for yourself and others. All is well. You are going to emerge and you're going to come out of this in a very good position. So simply allow this to be processed, whether it's a significant past event that you're finally letting go of. I think for a lot of you, it's quite, you're very much in this process of negotiating that, letting go and that moving forwards. It's quite a pivotal time for you and a beautiful time for you with so much possibility. So lean into that space of possibility. I feel really warm. There's a real energy coming in for you. But yeah, just watch that inner dialogue, because, you know, when we sit in a space of gratitude for all that we've learned, we can be happy now, and that then influences our ability to be kind of generous to ourselves and compassionate in response to anything and everybody. Compassion, remember, also draws the line. We can be very clear simultaneously. This is lovely. Very, very lovely. Whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're shifting, this is really right that this is happening, and it's right for you. You're going to come into your own in a very significant way. Wonderful, friends. Yeah, this is lovely. So much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. Let's have a look at our runes. We have the rune of the self and we have the rune of partnership. Okay, so partnership is around you. I think you're being asked to retain your individuality, your sense of autonomy within relationship here, actually. Now, partnership is, this rune can indicate a business partnership, it can indicate an intimate, you know, relationship, a love relationship, but it ultimately is speaking about a one-on-one relationship of some sort. So the energy of partnership is around you. You're being asked to kind of, I want to say, hold your own is what's really coming through. Yeah, be yourself. Don't feel you have to meet somebody else's expectations. Be yourself within relationship, within partnership. There's a wonderful, I think it's in Khalil Gibran, the prophet, and he speaks about relationships, you know, healthy relationships as two unique individual souls, kind of walking side by side with the winds of heaven flowing between them, which I always think is very lovely. It sort of recognises that we are on our own unique pathways. Let's have a look and see what cards we are shown. Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles, new experiences, in reverse. We've got the Hierophant, knowledge, also in reverse. Knight of Pentacles. Gosh, Page of Pentacles again. Knight of Cups. Oh, this is really, really this is a full-on relationship reading. You're manifesting, or you're involved in a relationship. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Pentacles, sorry, we've got Page of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Pentacles upright, Page of Pentacles upright. You have the ability to, I want you to listen to your intuition. There's some aspect of relationship around you, and I think you're kind of uncertain about it. It's almost as though you've, cherry quartz brings a shift in our fortune. It's almost as though you've slightly lost faith in your own ability to, I want to say, to assess or evaluate people. So Archangel Michael, this is in reverse as well. Very interesting. You have the card of leadership. Use your imagination and you'll see the answer. Lovely. Life review and victory. This is great. This is really great. Use your imagination and you'll see the answer. It's like, I actually think this reading is, you're either starting a new relationship, you're either single and looking for somebody, you've met someone and you're starting a relationship, you're forming new friendships, or you are in an existing relationship and it's about to move to a new level, or you're thinking about moving it to a new level of commitment. But you're worrying about it. It's almost as though some aspect of your relational experiences have left you with an element of self-doubt. Archangel Michael in reverse, actually, this card literally almost says take back your power. Yeah, take back your power. Connect to your power source. Archangel Michael is really working with you here. Now, cherry quartz, remember, it's said to increase our overall energy and it moves a stagnant or stuck situation forwards. I think some of you are hesitant. Maybe if you're starting off on the dating trail, for example, you're hesitant and reluctant to do that. You're a little bit anxious, you're worried. You know, will your intuition be sufficient? Things didn't go well with something before. Just connect into your power source. Use your imagination, tune into your intuition, allow yourself to be in a space of discovery. If you've met someone and you're testing the waters, again, it's like you're not sure about this. Again, you're being asked to step into your own sense of power. Whatever it is, be yourself. Be fundamentally yourself. Don't compromise on who you are. Very powerful kind of message coming through here, which is that compromises are not about compromising who you are. Like if you're a really bubbly, outgoing, optimistic, extrovert, and you meet someone who says, well, I don't want a bubbly, outgoing extrovert, you must change. Well, actually, no, that's not that's not an okay compromise. Actually, it means you're not compatible and they need to find somebody who's not bubbly and outgoing who will be compatible with them. There isn't a right or a wrong, but it's about kind of horses for courses, finding the right people. There's something really important about allowing yourself to assess here. Be discerning. If you're going to move to the next step in a relationship or move a relationship forwards, rather than questioning and being full of self-doubt, tap into your own power source. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Align your thoughts, words and actions with everything that you want to see in the world, with everything you want to be. And the people around you are either going to resonate with you or they won't. And if they don't, then there's an incompatibility here. This reading is really clear. It's really supporting you and saying, look, you have the absolute right and entitlement to move forwards with flow and for a relationship here to emerge and evolve. But there's some hesitancy is the right word. Okay, there's a hesitancy around relationship here. So, Page of Pentacles, new experience. The Hierophant, knowledge. I think they're in reverse here because you're embarking either on a new phase of relationship, or you've done a lot of inner work, and therefore the relationships around you are shifting. This could be a business partnership, it could be a love relationship, it could also be a friend or an intimate, I say an intimate partner, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it's a one-on-one. Something is shifting, a stagnant situation is moving forwards. This is the bettering of any situation. This is the element of cherry quartz coming in. It really moves things forwards and brings optimism. I would really like to say don't wobble. Okay, I'd really like you to trust and believe in your ability to manifest someone who's going to kind of knock your socks off, okay? And also allow yourself the freedom, if this is a brand new space of relationship, allow yourself the freedom to try things on for size. I always think with the Knight of Cups in this particular pack, it speaks of, I don't know, I always want to say be prepared to be swept off your feet, be prepared to be bowled over, but also be prepared that this person might come into your life and also leave. It's not that they're coming in with any negative intent. Sometimes this person comes into our lives with the energy of this, and this is non-gender specific. Sometimes the energy of the Knight of Cups brings in new vitality to a relationship, so an existing relationship becomes unstuck and moves forwards. A new relationship starts, but even if it's a new relationship and you've just started on the dating scene, it might be a new relationship that just comes in to remind you of that aliveness, of that spark, of that passion. And even if you end up not being compatible, it doesn't matter, because the job is done, as it were. They came into your life to remind you that you could feel that way, to bring that spark, that passion into your life, to know that you have that within you. It's like to move anything stuck within you, any attitudes within you where you somehow have got yourself stuck and entrenched into a space of believing that you'll never meet anyone, and then you do. It's just renewing this. So yeah, for some of you, it could mean this is somebody who is not only going to sweep you off your feet and knock your socks off, but they become a permanent fixture. But there's something about giving yourself the space to discover whilst absolutely being yourself. You know, this is the key. Now we are going to do some energy shifting here with Archangel Michael in reverse. So there's something that is stuck around you. It could be an attitude, it could be a residue from a past relationship, it could be something within an existing relationship that feels stuck and you're needing to move it forwards. But actually, you're being asked here to trust your intuition. We have the card of victory here. Okay, Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So you're being asked to have faith. There's just something is either stuck, or there's been a wobble, or you're questioning, or you've met someone. Are they right for me? Are they not? Don't be too prescribed. Allow yourself to allow this relationship to flow, to flourish, and discover what it might be and how it might be. And then within that space of discovery, you know, you'll just know. You know, we all lead by example, our words and actions, presenting a role model to everyone that we come into contact with. This card asks you to take an ownership of your personal leadership qualities and to align your thoughts, words and actions with everything that you wish to see in the world. Remember, by all means, compromise. Decide whether, you know, if you get a takeaway, are you going to, you know, get a pizza, or, you know, or are you going to get a, you know, I don't know, a Chinese or an Indian or something, or whatever you want to get. Decide what you want to get. That's the compromise. Yes, actually, you prefer a pizza. I fancy fish and chips. We'll go for the pizza because that's what you want. But don't compromise who you are. Be you. Be wholeheartedly you. That's where you are going to find your source of empowerment. Archangel Jeremiah, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that's unbalanced. Yeah, I think in the past you have been in, or you've had an experience of imbalance within relationships. There's a bit of a residue of that. There's a fear of going down that road again. Just be yourself. And again, you don't have to be too prescribed. use your imagination and you'll see the answer. The prayer, dear God, thank you for granting me the wisdom and creativity to see your miracles in new and unexpected ways. I gratefully and gracefully accept and appreciate your help. And you describe the situation. This is all about something to do with somebody on a one-on-one basis. If it's a business relationship and you're having a wobble, ask. Be what you wish to create from a business perspective, and all will become clear. This is really something you have been manifesting, and as I said, there's something has felt stuck, whether it's a residue of the past or even a stuckness because you've got a bit prescribed about something. Don't be so prescribed. Allow it to flow into being. Review, evaluate as you go along. Allow something. I'm almost being asked, it's like to be organic in its evolution. And through that process of discovery, don't be afraid that it will or it won't work out. Don't prescribe it. Just allow it to emerge and evolve, and all will become clear. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of energy shifting here. And my reason for energy shifting is because I want to connect you to your power source, to know that you can be you. And I'd like you to trust and value every new experience, knowing that you can connect into a space of sort of wisdom. You can accept guidance and help. You can lean on Archangel Michael. You can pray for help and the help will be given. Have faith. At any time and at any stage, we don't have to fix things. We need to allow something to organically grow. Do you know this is a really interesting thing? Just before I was, well, in my preparation, I say just before I started doing these readings, in my preparation, I was walking in my garden, deciding to pick some herbs, flowers. And I bought a plant for my garden, and it was a plant that I particularly wanted to get because it had a particular coloured flower. And I just suddenly glanced down and it has just flowered and it's a completely different colour. And I didn't think, oh no, I'll need to move that, or that's not what I just thought, wow, that is stunningly beautiful. This is a flower that has two different colours. It has either an incredibly electric pink flower or it has a white flower. Now, when I bought it, I didn't know which one it was. I was rather hoping for the electric pink. This is actually a mixture of the two. And I just thought, wow, I've never seen this before. It's completely new. But it's magic. It's like I've been given this gift of something that's totally new. It wasn't what I expected. Now, if I was very prescribed, I might think, oh, I'm going to have to dig that up and move it somewhere else and go and find the right colour. I don't feel that way. That's not how my garden is a very organic space. Not only in the the literal sense of the word, in that I don't use any form of sprays and things, but in that I allow it to evolve. I love that. That's just my style of gardening. Again, there's no wrongs and rights, but I personally love things to seed themselves. I love putting in plants and discovering what they are, and sometimes I make huge mistakes and I suddenly end up with something that's 6 foot tall right at the front when it really needed to be at the back of a border. And so I know that I'll have to move that. But again, it's an organic process of discovery. And there's something about being in relationship with relationships in an organic way. Being in relationship with life sometimes, where we are not so prescribed that we can't allow the new to arrive and inform us, and recognise that actually all is well, and that we're being shown things, and we're going to discover possibly even more of what we desire through the discovery of the new. So we're going to energy shift. Sit with this reading as it is. What I'm going to call upon is the energy of cherry quartz. I'm going to write some of the cards here. So we're going to embrace new experience and the organic evolution. Do you know, I felt a massive lift there, and somewhere between my heart, really interesting, somewhere between my heart and my solar plexus. Really interesting energy, because of course that's very much a space within us of creativity, and our heart is all about relationships. When we embrace new experiences, we can begin to allow ourselves to tune into the guidance of the new, to trust our intuition. The Hierophant is saying, you know, there is wisdom around you. There is always knowledge to be gained as we step into the new. You are manifesting here. Someone is coming into your world. Also be patient, yeah, allow this to emerge. Page of Pentacles again, manifestation of your world, literally, bringing in love, healing situations, relationships that find resolution. Archangel Michael and the rune of the self, be yourself. Lean on Archangel Michael for courage. If you're stepping into the space of the new and you've had a tricky situation before, or a difficult or challenging relationship, just again, be yourself. Through and through, that is the answer. And if you're trying to navigate some form of compromise, use your imagination and you'll see the answer. And if someone who swept you off your feet, or indeed someone comes into your world who sweeps you off your feet, turns out not to be right for you, trust that that was a valuable experience. You're being promised victory here. So just review, be organic in this situation. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. You know, your desires are coming, and just allow them to emerge organically and all will be well. This is lovely, absolutely lovely, very beautifully, again in tune with the waning energy of the moon, that steady progress that comes whilst we simultaneously take consistent action, we persevere, but we also review and we listen to what we are shown. Wonderful, wonderful alignment with the current energy, at the current lunar energy. Wonderful friends, it's been an absolute joy to do this reading. So much love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. Let's look at our runes. So first of all, we have the rune of nourishment, of possessions. This is a rune that speaks of ambitions satisfied, and we have the blank rune. That's interesting because this would suggest you're in a period of gestation, you're birthing something into the world. It may not yet have come forth, but I think it's going to. It's going to bring you rewards in some way. They may not emerge immediately. You're having to navigate something. It's interesting because this is a warrior stone. So black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, I feel it's calling for perseverance, actually. And for you to take time, you may need to take time away from something. Indeed, something I'm hearing, there may even be an interruption of some sort that causes you to have to take time away from something. But don't worry, it's fine. It's still going to emerge and birth. Whatever you're working on, whether it's a creative project or you're calling in a soulmate, whatever aspect of your life you're processing, it will come to you. And I'm seeing rewards, gains, ambitions satisfied. But you're not possibly going to have to nourish in a different way in order to get there. There may be an interruption on your pathway. It's just simply something else that you have to attend to on the way. So we have Page of Swords, vigilance, the Hanged Man, limbo, King of Swords, structure. This is really interesting. So we have Page of Swords in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Keys in reverse. We have the card of lack. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. Indigo and crystal children, and the card of peace. Okay. This is really interesting. I want to say be steady in your manifestations. There is a promise here of something coming to fruition. And something quite big. If you're working on a new project, or you're setting up a new business, or you're starting a new relationship, or you know, whatever you are actively involved in manifesting, I think it's going to come, and you need to take a structured approach to getting there. But I do feel there will be an interruption, that, or you're either needing to learn something else or you're needing to attend to something else along the way. Pay attention to the details. Bring structure. Be consistent in your efforts. Be steady. Page of Swords. What's this? What's the energy of this around you? It's interesting we have the card of lack here and the Queen of Keys in reverse. So the card of lack, leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. This card asks you to release any underlying beliefs that you may hold regarding entitlement and worthiness that may be blocking your ability to receive. When you have an abundance of wealth, both inner and outer, you will have an abundance to give and to share with others. Indigo and Crystal children, Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. I want to say this may also be you. Peace, Archangel Chamuel, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. I feel like here you've been working at something for a while, and it is coming to fruition, and you know that is really that success is being promised, and yet it's not quite, you haven't quite birthed it, it's not quite there. It's like you've been working on the book and you've suddenly, you know, you're at the final chapter and now you're not sure whether the ending was right, or you're struggling to have the motivation to see it through to the end, to the finish line, or there's something or circumstances around you. You know, maybe there's been an interruption, a family member, or, you know, something happening. Somebody was unwell, or you've been unwell, or there was a hiccup along the way, or there's something that has hindered you, or you may literally just have found yourself energetically being a bit all over the place. You know, just loads and loads of stuff coming in, lots of interruptions. You know, you get those days, don't you, when you start out at the beginning of the day and you know exactly what you've planned and you're really, really full of intent, and then suddenly the phone rings, and then it rings again, and then another message comes in that you weren't expecting to have to deal with it, but you're going to have to pick something up, or you get an email and you've got to respond to that, and there's a whole conversation that imbues, and suddenly all the things you thought you were going to do that morning have gone, and you've reached, you know, it's lunchtime already. It's got that flavour about it, and yet there is this real. It's like I can feel a spark in my solar plexus that is really, really itching and waiting and bursting to burst forth. So there's something that has been hanging in limbo, not quite moved forwards. Queen of Keys. See, this is interesting because this is a woman of authority. Or let's say a figure, if we make it non-gender specific. She's a figure of authority. When she's in reverse, it means that maybe there's a figure of authority that is leaving us in some way. But the message for me that's coming through, she's looking at the card of lack. Actually, the key here is to let go of, there's something in you that may be like a little bit of a self-sabotaging aspect of behaviour. You know, where you don't quite believe you can have. And so you don't quite knuckle down. You know, I have a really good friend who struggles to finish things. I mean, he's one of the most amazingly hard workers. I absolutely adore him, and we've worked on loads of projects together. He's absolutely fantastic. He's so motivated. But I love endings because I love the completion. I get really, really excited about the ending. And once I'm on the home run, I'm really, really excited. But he's like the other way. You get to the home run, and we found this working together. It's quite interesting. We've had to work out how to navigate this when we're working on something sort of collectively. Because when we get to that last stretch, he's quite self-sabotaging because he's really not good at endings. And so we often talk about this. It's been really lovely. He's not good at completion, whereas I love the completions. So there's something about be structured in your approach. I think if you are working on something and it's flowing, if an interruption occurs, then don't be fazed by it. The reading, I think, it's showing me like a timeline. So for some of you, this is quite present. You're in a space where you're either in some self-sabotaging behaviour, or there's been loads of interruptions and you're just not quite getting there as fast as you'd like to. Something has to be attended to. It's as simple as that. And your time is needed elsewhere. However, for others, I think the timeline, this is yet to come. I think there might be some interruptions, something that takes your energy away from the project that you're working on. I really want to say, don't worry about it. Don't perceive it as being almost like a sign from the universe that says, don't go ahead. You know how it's like we can interpret things, because we do. You know, it's like if you're, I don't know, if you're journeying down the road and suddenly there's a delay, you know, and a diversion. I mean, we know that sometimes actually we're meant to take that diversion because we're meant to see something. But sometimes we can take a diversion and we can almost think, well, that's the universe telling me that this is not the direction for me. This reading is sort of saying, actually, you are moving in the right direction. What you're doing is absolutely right, and it will birth into the world, and it will be very, very satisfactory to you. Indeed, the rune of nourishment of possession says, you know, in your success, don't forget to share your good fortune. It's just that you're not quite there. I just think there's going to be an interruption on the pathway. Don't perceive it as being, gosh, I'm not on track. The universe is suggesting don't do that. Or I'm, you know, I don't know, barking up the wrong tree. You're not. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. The prayer here: thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. I think you're on track. Remember, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. This is also a reminder, because quite honestly, don't get frustrated if there's lots of interruptions. Just trust that you can stay on track. Be structured in your approach. Be consistent. You will get there. I'm seeing frustration. I'm seeing interruptions. Just be vigilant as well, because sometimes interruptions come in, and again, be thoughtful about how you respond to them. Somebody gave me some really good advice the other day, actually, and she was actually saying to me, you know, be structured in your approach. And she was talking about, she just said, you know, make sure that you know, make a decision, choose, that, you know, don't open your emails until after lunchtime. You know, make a choice to give yourself allocated bits of time to deal with your own pathway, and then make structured pieces of time to deal with the incoming stuff. And there will be plenty of time. But it can so easily, you know, I know if I open emails, I can, early in the day, it knocks me off track, and then I've lost my kind of focus, and I find it harder to get back on focus. It's that kind of flavour here. This is really interesting. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. You see, I think this may also be applying to you, that you are sensitive. And in the same way that I was just describing how I know my energy can be knocked off track, I can get up in the morning with very good intentions, open emails, and suddenly I'm off on a different track. It's better that I get focused and do my priorities first, and then open the emails. You know, if there's a real emergency, you know, I'll get an important call and someone will leave a message. I don't have to answer every call. If it's important, they'll leave a message. I can then respond. So there's something about staying on track and not allowing yourself to be knocked off. And yet I do think there are also incoming things that need to be attended to along the way. So be vigilant. Be vigilant with yourself as well as with others. You know, be aware that there are also people who will want perhaps more of your time than really you should be giving. Again, if you're too responsive to everybody, you can lose your responsiveness to yourself, and you can then interpret that as, gosh, perhaps my project, my whatever I was looking for, whatever I wanted to manifest was probably the wrong one, and the universe is simply showing me that, you know, it's not the right track. This reading is saying it is the right pathway for you. So we're going to do some energy shifting here. We're going to really bring in the energy of the snowflake obsidian, the warrior stone, bringing protection and alignment, bringing energy and allowing you to get still to see the pathway. Very interesting, the Hanged Man. Even though this is a card that says, you know, you could be in limbo, in between things, I always think for me the Hangman also says we're ready to see something, and if we get still we'll be shown. I mean, this is Odin with, you know, it was said that when he hung upside down in a tree, he saw the symbols of the runes, which became, and indeed still are, a huge tool of divination to bring us guidance. So let's do some energy shifting, calling on our ability to get still whilst holding our focused vision of where we want to go to the future. We're going to move the Queen of Keys into an upright position. We're going to bring her as a source of empowerment, and I'm going to shift the card of lack here. Okay, so rather than having a wobble and perceiving an interruption as a sign that we're not on track, we recognize that leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. We're going to embrace the abundance that we wish to have for ourselves, whether that is, you know, in the everyday happiness of your life, or in an abundance of return for a project or creative venture that you are involved in. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. You are sensitive. Align with peace. And whatever the interruptions, don't let yourself be frustrated. If you need to learn some more skills, the way will be shown. If stuff is going on around you, give, but give in a structured way. What we are shown with this rune of possessions and nourishment is that actually, you know, success here is promised, but there is a process of almost like a pregnancy. I always think the rune, the blank rune, it's a gestation, a pregnancy. Something's waiting to be birthed. The birth will come, and this is going to be very successful, whatever you are manifesting, whatever area of happiness and wellness you're bringing into your world. But it requires gentle, steady perseverance with periods of stillness to get you and to keep you centered regardless of the incoming. And as I said, don't interpret incoming interruptions as a message that you're not on track. You are. You just need to attend to this and do so. Attend to it in a structured manner. The energy is with you for moving forwards. It really, really is. And something is going to birth into a position of abundance. It's just there's a bit more work to be done too. And yeah, you're on track. Keep at it. Be steady, persevere, and all will be well. And there will be plenty of time to deal with everything along the way. Really being shown that. Yeah, sort of just nurture yourselves. Take care, deal with things one step at a time, and yeah, get a bit organized and program time so that you can give to others but not give too much. You know, make sure you're balanced. Yeah, don't get frustrated. Keep going, wonderful friends. Persevere. Whatever you're birthing into the world, there is promise here. My wonderful friends, so much love, and thank you so much for joining me for today's readings. Namaste.